In today's lesson, I'm going to show you how to make the little clip for the mechanical pencil. So let's get started. I'm going to create a new component, make a sketch. I'm going to start out with a side profile here. So I'm going to start off with a small little rectangle. Of course, we need to add some dimensions. Always have to add our dimensions. So let's add some dimensions to this and give it a little thickness. All right, there we go. Then I'm starting. Now, if you notice on the pencil in the back part that connects it to the outside barrel, there's like a little square shape. So I'm going to draw that little square shape in right now. And we'll add some dimensions in a second. So let's get the square drawn. Let's add some dimensions right here, some height. Also, if you notice, there's a couple little other small pieces on here. So we have this little slanted piece. I'm going to start right in the midpoint of that rectangle. I'm going to draw this slant out here. And now what I can do is I can just mention how long I want that to be. So I can go from this edge to that point. And I can figure out how long I want that to be. The other thing I have, slide over, is I have this little bump right here. So we're going to actually go back to our arc, our 3-point arc. And I'm going to put an arc in here. And of course, when we're doing our arc, we can actually put a distance in. And then I'll just click on that edge. And I just wanted to put this little bump in here. Also notice that this point happens to be right on this line. If it's not, you can go up to coincident, grab that little point, grab that line and stick it right on there so it looks real good. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna finish my sketch. I'm gonna extrude everything to the width of my little piece here. So I'm gonna extrude them all back. Looking pretty good so far. Now I gotta make some more adjustments. This has a little piece that's missing out of the middle here. So I'm gonna do a new sketch right here. And I'm gonna put a box right on the inside here. And then I'm going to put some dimensions on. I want this box to be equal all the way around on how far it's out. So we'll put some dimensions on here. I can just click on that line and it'll put the same dimension in. Come down here and click that, put the same one in, and I want the same one as that. Next, I want to finish the sketch. I'm going to extrude this down. So hopefully you have the depth of this. I'm going to take my overall depth, which I know is a number that I put in earlier. And I'm going to subtract out, and in this case, I'm going to add in the thickness of when I originally first started to get down how deep I want this to go. Looking pretty good. Now, I need to cut some stuff out of these two materials. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a sketch on this new end here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a couple rectangles. So I'm going to draw one in the middle. That's going to be the middle part. And if you look very carefully, the edges are also cut out. So I'm going to add some dimensions on there. And I know the dimensions in between these. I know the thickness of these. And I also know the dimension between these two. It's going to be the same as that one right there. That's looking pretty good. So I'm going to finish my sketch. I'm going to extrude those 3 rectangles. I'm going to extrude them back, and I'm only going to go back to this wall. So what I want to do is, instead of putting distance, I'm going to go to object. I'm going to select that wall because that's how far they're cut out. Hit OK. There's my little bumps now, and there's my little triangle pieces. Looking pretty good. Now, I noticed on mine, the tips, the edges are rounded off a little bit. So I'm going to round those off. So I'm going to go up to fillet. I'm going to put a couple fillets on all these corners. So I'm going to grab those 2 corners, and I'm going to grab the back 2 corners. And I can grab this because I can see it coming down. And I'm just going to put a little tiny fillet on there just to kind of round it off a little bit. And that's looking pretty good. Last thing I want to do is I would always go up, go to my appearance, open it up, and mine happens to be blue. So I'm just going to slide blue onto my clip here, and then I would file and save that. So I hope you enjoyed this video.